Welcome back to Top 5 Best. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. If you do, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to reply to as many of you as I can.
The 15 most dangerous kid toys ever. Number 15. Creepy crawlers. In the early 1960s, what kind of cool toys did kids want? I know. An oven to bake bugs that produced an unbearable 180 degrees of skin-peeling heat. The hot crawler oven had kids molding bugs and spiders out of plastic and heating them up to solidify. It expelled extremely toxic fumes and burnt the flesh off little hands as they could reach in at any time to fiddle with the hot plate. Number 14. Austin Magic Pistol. This toy from the 1950s was an explosive hand cannon that shot actual fireballs. When you really break it down, it was essentially a gun designed to propel ping pong balls by mixing water with calcium carbide, which then created a flaming explosion, which apparently in the 1950s was totally fine to market to children. Number 13. Cabbage Patch Snack Time Dolls. These sweet dolls were originally supposed to pretend to eat plastic foods, but in reality would mechanically chew any substance that made its way into its mouth. They began feasting on little kids' fingers, and one little girl was virtually scalped when a doll started gnawing on her hair. And the most chilling part? These sweet dolls had no off switch. The only way to stop their carnivorous rampage was to smash them. Number 12. Stretch Armstrong. Any toy that could potentially send your child to the hospital for head staples due to a game of tug-of-war is bound to be dangerous, and that is exactly what this toy did to a lot of young ones when it came out in North America. Just imagine a game of tug-of-war that ended with spilled gelled corn syrup, because that's what this stretchy toy was filled with, leaving parents not too happy. Number 11. Slip and Slide. Now, a lot of people have played on one of these, and for the most part, it's fine for kids. The big problem with these is when an adult or teenager tries to use it, since the slide is so short and the stop is incredibly abrupt. In many cases, it became a slip and go to the hospital. A number of adults have been paralyzed from spine damage by a sloppy ride on the slip and slide. Number 10. Magnetics. This was basically a construction set made with magnets. However, a manufacturing defect allowed the magnets to separate from the building pieces, and many kids wound up eating these tiny magnets, and they would connect with each other inside the body through tissue walls, joining vital organs and intestines and squeezing them together, resulting in the death of one child and another 27 intestinal injuries requiring emergency surgical intervention. Number 9. Splash-off water rockets. For a short period in 1997, stores sold this portable death trap, a rocket you filled with water until the pressure built up so much that it took off. Unfortunately, this rocket would often not take off at all, and instead just detonate, hurling shards of rocket throughout the flesh cavities of your children. There were at least 37 counts of people suffering lacerations to various body parts. Number 8. Moon shoes. What's that? You've got ADD so intense that you need to bounce around the neighborhood on trampoline shoes? Awesome. Here's a pair made entirely of metal, ones that could cave in a dog's ribcage with small effort so you could dance around the streets like an idiot. Oh no, you've broken your ankle because you didn't land properly? I'm sure that won't happen again, or 100 more times. Number 7. The WeGo Kite Tube. An inflatable tube that would get pulled behind a big boat and make it fly like a mid-air surfboard. It worked for sure. Too well, though. It would soar 20 feet in the air. There would be serious consequences if a child fell off and landed on anything but water. The many people that bought this product were likely unaware that there's this thing. It's called a jet ski. Way more fun and half the danger. Number 6. Soccer boppers. Gotta get them kids trained up for their glorious boxing careers. But we can't let them practice with lame pillows. Oh no. Let's give them inflatable devices and let them beat each other up. They were advertised as safe wrestling toys, but they quickly became violent enablers, dulling the impact of a fist. But when it comes right down to it, you're still getting punched repeatedly. Number 5. Gilbit glass blowing. The 1950s were a glorious time before toy manufacturers realized that heating a glass 400 degrees with no safety equipment was probably a bad idea. No, as long as you read the instruction booklet back to front, wore fireproof gloves, and prayed that the very flimsy plastic goggles would protect your eyes from searing molten heat, everything would turn out fine, right? Number 4. The Nimbus 2000. In the early 2000s, most kids wanted to be a wizard, or more accurately, Harry Potter. These toys would practically fly off the shelves. Mattel, trying to cash in on this opportunity, developed a fancy broomstick that vibrated. It didn't take long before sex shops started to sell the toys to adults, causing a big parental uproar. The Nimbus 2000 was discontinued within 1 year. Number 3. Darts. Biggest issue is, they're massive darts thrown across the yard. Now, on paper, it sounds like a very good idea, taking the game of darts outside, similar to cornhole bags, with two teams trying to hit each other's bullseye. After its release, the injuries started to pile up very quickly. With over 8,000 injuries, the toy was quickly banned by the CPSC in 1998 before it actually killed someone. Number 2. Sky Ranger's Park Flyer radio-controlled airplanes. Now, you would probably think that a remote-controlled airplane would be dangerous because it could hit someone. But that's not why the Sky Ranger's Park Flyer radio-controlled airplanes made this list. The reason is that these planes could actually explode. There were complaints received around the world reporting hearing loss, minor burns, and eye injuries that prompted a recall. Number 1. Hannah Montana Pop Star Card Game. Now, what could possibly be dangerous about a card game? I mean, are paper cuts really that bad? No. How about one of the most deadly household toxins in existence? Lead. These cards contain 70 times more lead than the maximum the law permitted. And although after this fact was discovered, they still weren't taken off the shelves. Why? Because the lead was found in the vinyl, not inside the paint. And thus there was a loophole in the regulations. Thank you very much, Miley Cyrus.